Welcome to the Nemisphere in Seattle, Washington, Tulsa, and Seattle for tonight's 4K23 exhibition between the Tulsa Desperados and the Seattle Nemesis. Alongside Ramos Lynn, I'm Cameron Irvine. We're ready for another 4K23 exhibition. Good evening, Ramos.
Good evening to you. Love this stadium. Love the uniforms. This Desperados uniforms look sharp, and so does the Nemesis uniform, especially the helmets. I love them.
We'll see some interesting things on the field tonight, as we do every week, and get another look at it. Some different things tonight, some audio setting adjustments in the game playing on normal mode. We've been on slow the last 5 or 6 exhibitions, so you may see the game a little faster pace than you've seen over the past couple of weeks. Let us know what you think about that, if it looks better or worse to you. Seattle's going to get the ball first. We're ready to go here in the Nemisphere. The ceiling custom done in this place. We almost can't see it, but a lot going on up there. But the purple lights up top, and the green is here. We're ready to go. Kick it. We're underway. From 1 yard deep in the end zone, that's David Gears on the return. He gets a stiff arm past the 30, puts another man in the dirt. 40, David Gears down the sideline, all the way to the Tulsa 43. What a start for Seattle.
That's an awesome start, and the people in Seattle are loving it. I mean, it's not the Ravens, it's the Nemesis. We're going to get that corrected for the regular season, folks, but what a great job. And this is pretty much all David Gears. Some decent blocking, but 2 massive stiff arms. The kicker is not going to tackle him. Forget about it. And at the end, finally, he gets run out of bounds. A great start for the Nemesis offense.
So Seattle will get the football at the Tulsa 43 to start things out. Polly Truth doing the majority of the work on the Seattle side. Michael Torillo with the Tulsa uniforms. The Nemesis at the 50, custom number fonts as well. And here we go, 1st and 10. It starts with a handoff to the fullback for Seattle. That is, I had my roster up. Forgive me, folks, but it disappeared on me. Matt Brown, your fullback in Seattle, 2nd and 7.
Yeah, decent start. I expect another run perhaps here and make it a 3rd and shorter.
Handoff below Scott, and Scott is chased down from behind by Miles Gibson. RH Video talking about the Seattle numbers. Interestingly enough, the Seattle numbers in the lights of this stadium actually change colors. The two-tone purple of Seattle, and give it a good highlight as Blanton's pass is incomplete on 3rd down. That'll set up a 4th down and 5, and Seattle's offense does nothing with the great field position.
Yeah, and it was a very dangerous throw. He never saw the safety, actually, and very lucky that wasn't intercepted.
So Seattle will punt the football away. And that ball will bounce at the 13, fielded by Corey Jones up to the 20. Gabriel Manning also part of kickoff duties for Tulsa, but he'll also be used in the backfield tonight a little bit with some formation subs. Douglas Brown is back there right now to start the drive.
Yeah. So far now a heavy set, 4-4 defense for Seattle.
Q going to drop to throw on 1st and 10, and that pass is caught by Gabriel Manning, a pickup of 11 yards and our first move of the sticks of the evening.
Yeah, good throw, but Q is just standing tall in the pocket. Good blocking by both backs, and just right behind this, the linebacker goes Gabriel Manning for a first.
So look at the Tulsa offense. Q, Brown, and Bazar in the backfield. You got Bandit at tight end. 4 talented receivers. Macy Hume and Robinson in the backfield as well sometime tonight. This is Gabriel Manning on the carry, but he's going to lose a yard. Sets up a 2nd down and 11 as Tulsa trying to get their highest paid player more involved.
Yeah, and I really like him, especially out of the backfield as a receiving target. Good job by the Seattle defense making a stop behind the line.
He's also the only wide receiver in SFL history to be playing wide receiver and score a rushing touchdown. We've got a flag on the pass to the outside to Manning. That'll be PI, and we'll get another look at it.
Yep, pass interference. Important thing for Tulsa is that they do get an automatic first down. That one a little bit tight. I'm not sure about that, but called a PI.
So it'll make an automatic first down at the 39-yard line for Tulsa. Manning's back in the backfield. On first down, Douglas Brown still on the field. He's split out wide at the bottom of your screen as Q drops to throw. Running a crosser was Brown, but Q hit as he threw. Good pressure by that Seattle defensive front. We'll set up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, first time we see really pressure on the quarterback tonight. Normally you don't see a lot of pressure on shallow crosses. Normally those are pretty quick passes to complete or at least attempt. 2nd and 10.
Crowd getting loud. Same set here as JQ throws, and Douglas Brown tried to haul it in with one hand and couldn't catch it. Running a go route. We'll set up a 3rd and 10. Brady Clark in coverage.
Yeah, really good job by Clark. It was a really good route also by Douglas Brown. Not a bad throw by JQ, but a great defense for Seattle trying to make a stop on their own.
3rd and 10 now. Manning's at the top of the screen. Brown in the backfield. A dime look here for Seattle. They've moved a bunch of pieces all over the field to get faster. Manning went in motion and now is slot left. Q to throw on 3rd down and 10. That pass is tipped up in the air and intercepted. That's Doug Day with a spin move past the 40. And just like the kick return, the dreaded Doug Day has Seattle in Tulsa territory.
Yeah, and again, that's some pressure and very tight coverage. Again, the safety lurking, that's Robert coverage. Doug Day comes away with the INT.
Well, kind of an interesting start here in this football game. We've seen a long kick return from Seattle. 3 and out. Douglas Brown targeted on a catch he couldn't haul in. Different dime look for Seattle, and it pays off in an interception. 1st and 10 at the Desperado 38. And off to the fullback Brown, and he'll pick up a few to set up 2nd down.
Yeah, 2nd drive of the game for Seattle starting in opposite territory. We haven't seen any offensive plays on Seattle's side of the field, and it's time for the Nemesis to convert these into points.
4-3 look at Tulsa's defense. 2 in the backfield. That's Scott as the running back. He takes the toss, and Scott over to his left picks up about 6 yards on the play. Tulsa's linebackers are active early. That's David Ware on the stop.
Yeah, just not enough speed to get the first down, but I like the kind of misdirection. You expect him to run the ball right up the middle, and you toss it to the outside. Decent gain on the play.
3rd and 1. Run it one more time to Brown, and Brown going to push ahead for a first down. Wrapped up by Gibson. Gibson, Ware, and Collins super active for Seattle or for Tulsa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like what Seattle is doing, controlling the pace of this game so far.
Blanton going to throw this time. And Blanton down the middle of the field, incomplete. Looking for Polly Truth over the middle. We'll set up a 2nd and 10. Couldn't haul that one in.
Yeah, pretty open up the seam. Maybe heard the footsteps of the safety. And couldn't come away with the completion.
So 2nd down to the Tulsa 28-yard line. Scoreless early in this 4K23 exhibition. Man goes in motion. That's Patton. Tulsa in his zone. Passes it off. Trellis, 5-man rush. He'll take off and run. And Blanton's got a first down all the way up to the 17-yard line. Everybody covered down the field. Trellis takes it himself.
Yeah, I really like the recognition by Trellis Bland. The A gap was completely wide open. A little bit of a shimmy on the linebacker. Doesn't completely fool him, but it's enough to get a first down.
Tulsa's 2nd opportunity at great field position, or check that, Seattle's 2nd opportunity at great field position tonight, taking a little bit more advantage than they did on their opening drive. Draw play, that is Scott, and Baloo Scott picks up 9 all the way down to the 12-yard line.
And good change of pace. This is the first run for Baloo. Stiff arm and gets very close from a first down. We may see another run from Brown here, actually.
They've been kind of, it seems like they're splitting carries a little bit tonight. Handoff goes to Brown. Brown's got a block on the outside, and he walks in for the touchdown. That was Polly Truth on the outside setting the block, and Seattle's on the board first.
Yeah, really good drive for Seattle. They needed to capitalize with a touchdown to really gain full momentum of the game. Great blocking on the outside. Polly Truth making blocks in the end zone, actually. So he also all the way to the end zone to make some blocks, and Seattle is up by a score.
Strictly Sports Gaming in the chat. Mad respect for this league, the people involved, and this advance before its time engine. No doubt about that. Thank you for the compliment. The extra point is good. Testing earlier today. Guess what I saw, Ramos?
What's that?
I saw a fake punt where
What?
the punter actually threw the ball.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable. Was it completed, though?
No, he got hit as he threw, but he tried to throw it.
Hey.
But it got me thinking about the throw power and accuracy and some for kickers and punters is something that, you know, teams can really consider progressing. Gabriel Manning on this kick return, and Manning will get out to the 33-yard line for Tulsa's next possession.
And let's see how Tulsa responds. I mean, Seattle has so far dominated this first quarter. Great kick return to start the game. Really able to get some field position. Seattle finally on their second drive able to score a touchdown with relative ease right there on the second drive. You know, Tulsa needs just more than one first down to, you know, keep pace with the nemesis.
Brown out on the current play. Actually, he's out wide to the left again. Patched up on Valentine. Manning top of the screen. They'll hand it off to the backup, and he has actually some pretty good space. 6-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 4. Allen.
Yeah, really good blocking on the right side by the Tulsa offensive line. Seattle, I really like this linebacking core of Seattle.
Linebackers includes KT Horrell, David Horrell, and Matthias Citrion. Lars Bazar goes in motion to the left side. Handoff. Douglas Brown behind a Bazar block. Brown actually took the outside angle, and KT shut it down pretty quick. Will set up 3rd down.
You know, and it's your whole playbook is pretty open here for JQ and company. 12 personnel. You can either run or pass out of this.
DJ Bandit goes in motion. Manning moves up to the line. 3rd down and 3. Handoff to Douglas Brown, and right away, an unblocked man, David Horrell on the outside, was able to shut that play down. You're not going to get many first downs with David Horrell coming in like that. Tulsa will have to punt.
Yeah, and they did put the guy in motion maybe to misdirect the defense, but it didn't work that time. David Horrell was just too good.
Fair catch call for Unique Mazik in the chat. It's great to see this league still going. Cameron Irvine's vision and execution along with the others involved. Man, this is really dope. I don't know what it is about Thursday nights, man, but a lot of positive energy. I don't know what it is. It's great.
And we've seen people like come back, like Unique Mazik. I'm not sure for how long have you been watching the SFL, man. Shout out to you. But even guys like Alvin Washington, man, like came back and you know, say hi, and it's all awesome.
Pad's going to go in motion. Tulsa a bit of trying to find their footing here in the first quarter offensively. Baloo's going to pick up 3 yards.
Yeah, and for Tulsa, you know, they just have to make a stop here. Try to, you know, regain the field position battle or gain the field position battle. You know, this is their best chance yet at the 21-yard line of Seattle.
2nd and 7 for the nemesis. Dean Jackson, the second tight end, goes in motion. And handoff goes to Brown, dragging another defender once more across the first down line. That was Philadelphia Collins on the stop, but Brown looks really good.
Yeah, he does. And especially if they start adding Baloo Scott more in the running game, I think this is going to be a very difficult duo to stop for the rest of the game.
So 1st and 10 for the Seattle offense that is hell-bent on running the football at Tulsa's linebackers. That's been the matchup of the night so far, as Brown picks up 7 on the play to set up a 2nd and 3.
Yeah, I mean, so far it's steady. We haven't really seen a lot of flashy plays, like a lot of passes downfield. The only one pass was attempted downfield to Paulie Truth. Actually, was incomplete. But it's been a lot of runs, a lot of short throws. I really like this offense so far.
Hand off, Baloo Scott got a 1st down to the 43-yard line. It's worth noting, as we note every week, this game is in alpha mode, testing all the graphics, testing how things work. You'll see some cheerleaders a little bit mismatched later tonight, testing ratings and all those things. The ratings do not reflect the players as they do in SFL Season 20. But we're still having fun anyway, as that pass is caught. Dart to David Gears, who's had a hot start tonight. Seattle's got a 1st down.
And I, for 1 second, thought that was going to be intercepted, actually, as one of the DBs jumped the route. Not enough. Not enough to make the interception. And luckily, the linebacker was there to make the stop. If not, that was a touchdown.
Under 2 to go in the 1st quarter. Ball at the Tulsa 37-yard line. Handoff. That's Brown again. Getting the handoff to pick up 4. And, showing the versatility, Ramos, of an offense that, has a young running back in the backfield. Maybe you've got a new rookie that you're getting custom worked into the offense. So why not get your fullback or somebody else a little bit more touches as they develop?
Yeah, for sure.
Blanton's pass is incomplete. Cameron Shaw knocks that out of the hands of David Gears. Will set up a 3rd and 6.
Yeah, great coverage by Shaw on the play. You're right there with the receiver, clean hit, right as the ball got to the receiver, and it's going to be a 3rd and 6, just on the outskirts of field goal range. It will be about a 49-yarder from him.
3 receivers, 2 backs in the backfield, and David Gears goes in motion. Across the formation from left to right. Chance for Tulsa to get off the field. Blanton to throw on 3rd and 6. Has a clean pocket and a wide open receiver. That's Gears. And Gears has a touchdown. Getting away from a linebacker. 13-0. Seattle on top early. A Legend fan snuck in there.
Legend. I mean, okay, fine. Minnesota fans also making the trip to Seattle. Not a long trip, but great job by the quarterback and the receiver. A crossing route confuses the linebacker, and finally the linebacker just cannot make the tackle one-on-one, and Seattle is off to a very hot start.
Did you see the linebacker there? I like that he kind of stepped back and to keep the receiver in front of him. At the end of the day, it was all for naught, but at least he kind of knew his disadvantage, and it proved to be an ultimate disadvantage in the end.
Yes.
14-0, 8-play, 82-yard drive. The previous drive for Seattle was 7 plays, so the Nemesis are off to a hot start. Yeah, universal textures are all over the place. Still building out that folder and figuring out how all that is going to work with this league of ever-changing textures. As Manning gets up to the 28-yard line and will set up Tulsa. Zane Kaysen with our first speed opinion of the night, Ramos, says it's a lot better than previous vids on slower gameplay. Feels a lot more immersive now. That's his opinion.
Sure. And I would like to see more people's opinions on it. Maybe, after 1 quarter is not enough. Maybe you want to kind of formulate your opinion. Also put previous streams like side by side and see which one you like more if you forgot how slow speed works.
Handoff to Allen, the backup to the 33, picks up 5. We're seeing that a lot in our testing with Brown shifting over as Brown comes back on 2nd and 5. I think Brown may be on special teams. for Tulsa, and that's why you're seeing that on first down.
Right.
So 2nd down and 5. Brown will get a carry. Brown's got a first down at the 39-yard line. Either way, the tag team of running backs for Tulsa is getting the job done on the ground as well.
Yeah, it is, and I think Tulsa has to do a little bit more of that. They have elected to go with a pass with JQ. One of them got intercepted actually.
Manning on the carry. So 3 different players with carries on back-to-back-to-back plays. Clark on the tackle.
Well, we know Gabriel Manning is one of the best in the open field of all time. So it kind of makes sense to put him in the backfield, just like how Cordell Patterson, one of the best kick returners in NFL history, has turned into a running back.
He goes out in the pass pattern this time, and Douglas Brown was the intended target, but Valentine knocks it out of his hands. So the Brown-Manning experiment not necessarily working out exactly in Tulsa's favor. There's your mismatched universal texture with the Minnesota undertones of Seattle cheerleaders tonight. But the Nemesis lead 14-0 over the Desperados into the first quarter.
Yeah. And, so far I haven't disliked fully what Tulsa has been doing. It's just Seattle doing a great job on defense. And, that dime defense, especially on 3rd down, could be very, very dangerous. This time it's just it's a dime, right? Yeah.
Looks that way. Citrion moving into the box. There's also a safety in that box, as that pass is caught by Gabriel Manning for a first down for Tulsa.
Beautiful decision, 1-on-1 against the safety. You have the mismatch right there. Just throw the ball quick inside. The safety has the outside leverage, and Gabriel Manning is going to make that catch more often than not.
No, players are not tuned in this exhibition. It is an exhibition after all. Q's pass is caught. Douglas Brown out of the backfield, first down into the red zone to the 18-yard line.
Biggest pass of the game so far for Tulsa. It's going to the running back. And we saw in the previous drive, JQ trying to connect with Douglas Brown. Unfortunately, it was a little bit overthrown. Douglas Brown tried to catch it with one hand. This time, a much better throw open was Douglas Brown for a big first.
What's interesting about the formation subs, Ramos, is you may get yourself into a situation where you feel like it's just a better matchup to spread your running back out wide, depending upon personnel, as that pass is knocked away and incomplete, intended for Manning, and that can vary and change game to game.
Yeah, absolutely. If you see probably on scouting that the opposing team likes to do a certain thing, maybe have a more like bigger package during those situations, or base defense, you can have a running back spread out wide and create mismatches on the defense.
Tulsa's gone to this look a lot in the first quarter, and Q's pass is overthrown, so that'll set up a 3rd down and 10 for Tulsa, trying not to stall out here on their best drive of the first half.
Yeah. The wide receiver at first did have some space, but I think that if the pass was on target, that's probably a hospital pass. So JQ also protecting his receiver just a little bit.
Third down and 10 at the 21. Q going to roll out to his right, fire down the field, and Doug Day nearly got his 2nd pick of the night, looking for Sanzo Robinson. So Seattle's defense is going to hold, and we'll see our first field goal of the evening.
A really good play again. Doug Day, a very similar play as the one he got the interception on, also playing some kind of robber defense. And we'll see a 39-yarder here.
39-yard field goal is up and good for Tulsa, so they're on the board. 10-play, 51-yard drive, 2 minutes and 21 seconds, makes it 14-3. Now Tulsa's defense, that's had some trouble on back-to-back drives, going to need to step up.
Yeah, they will. And again, for Seattle, it's been more of that methodical kind of offense. The key here is going to be first down, because if you can force them into a 2nd and 10, 2nd and 11 even, that's going to greatly increase your chances of making a stop.
Gears on the return, got it all the way to the Tulsa 43 on his first of the night, gets it up to the 30. Don't forget at halftime, you'll see the first look at the convention schedule and details as the contract is done, and we await our reservation link. Once it hits, rooms are going to go fast. Be on the lookout, and be on the lookout for that at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I form look for Seattle. DeQueen goes in motion. Haven't yet gotten to speak her name yet. Play fake. Blanton on first down. Fires deep down the field. There's another pass interference down the field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the safety felt he was beat on the play and made contact just before the ball got there. We may have a replay to take a better look at it. There we go. It's just a seam route and just a little bit early.
It's on Marco Swift. We're continuing to tool and tune penalty sliders. Last week we had a different setting than this week, so we'll continue to look at all that as well as we continue through on Alpha Build. Handoff goes to Baloo Scott, and Scott gets up to the 43, a 4-yard pickup. 2nd and 6.
Yeah, and a lot of outside stunts here for Tulsa, leaving the middle of the field pretty open for the running backs, and that has really worked to Seattle's advantage. Now it looks like a much more heavy set here for Tulsa with 9 players in the box.
Blanton is sacked. Berto Demora gets in the backfield. That's the first sack of the night, and just as Ramos said, look out. Demora cleans it up.
Yeah, 9 players in the box, actually blitz, so it's going to be hard to contain about 5 or 6 guys with 5 blockers.
Blanton fires down the field. That is incomplete, and that'll set up a 4th down. So there you go. Tulsa's defense gets off the field. Gus Scott was the intended receiver, and Seattle will punt the ball away. Tyler was asking about convention rooms. Maybe there wouldn't be as many as in years past. Still 60 rooms available. We expect 100 or so guests for the convention, and we are just anticipating that we may get over that number, and room reservations, I should say, will sell out as Jones calls for a fair catch at the 13. Tulsa's defense does its job, and they're back on offense.
Yeah, and I like the fact that Tulsa did have a long drive the last time out. You know, that will give him some confidence as Gabriel Manning will be in the backfield again. And there's a lot of things you can do when Manning is in the backfield. You can hand the ball off to him, or you can send it to catch a pass. He's pretty good at that.
Bizarre goes in motion, and they'll toss it out to Manning, and Manning waited for a block but just couldn't get anything going on the outside. A 1-yard gain for Gabriel.
Yeah, that's a pretty outstanding play by the defense. You know, it's not easy. Like, Gabriel Manning is used to those plays, you know, being on the outside with some open field. It's not easy to make a tackle.
Back to pass, fumbled, hit from behind and recovered by a Tulsa offensive lineman, but that's something I don't think I've ever seen. Just a hit from behind on cue knocks the ball out.
And just attacking the football was the edge rusher right off the outside. Hits the ball and makes the tackle as well. Big play by Seattle's defense. Tulsa lucky they were able to recover that one.
3rd and 12, first time we've seen empty tonight. Out of the Desperados, 4-man rush for Seattle. Q avoids a sack. Now Q's going to take on the run. He fumbles the ball, and Seattle recovers at the Tulsa 17. JQ got obliterated by a defender I didn't even see coming.
No, me neither. That's an outstanding play on defense for Seattle. They avoid a sack, and then the guy Citrion absolutely pummels JQ. And Seattle with a prime field position to score some more points.
And that's what was happening. The crosser was trying to drag the defender away, and a heads-up play by Citrion to get off the route and go attack JQ. I think it caught him by surprise. Q fumbles twice on the possession, and Seattle gets the football. Now Baloo Scott on the carry picks up 2.
And it will be a monster stop if Tulsa can just hold him to 3 points. Because, I mean, if Seattle goes up by 18, I mean, I'm not saying it's game over. There's a lot of game left, but then Tulsa has to be pretty demoralized by that.
Hand off to Scott, and Scott will pick up a few. So, yeah, big 3rd and 4 coming up here. Tulsa definitely does not want to get themselves down 21-3. And we'll see what they come out in.
On 3rd and 4, I expect a balanced formation. And a couple of wide receivers. 3 wide receivers in this case.
4-man rush. Blanton throws back across his body. The pass is caught, but Tulsa all over it. Just got rid of that as he was about to go down, and there you go. Tulsa's defense getting stronger here in the second quarter.
Yeah, much stronger here in the second quarter. You know, it was reminiscent of the first drive of the game where Seattle just couldn't come away with points despite the great field position. This time, much better field position, and they put it between the uprights.
So not much going for the offense there, but their defense does the job. Seattle's been winning the defense and special teams department tonight. And they have a 17-3 advantage.
Well, and for Tulsa is just, shaking that off. 2 turnovers proving costly here for the Desperados, both on JQ.
Manning from his 1-yard line. And Manning will push ahead to the 34, his best return of the night.
A really good return. For one moment, I thought he was probably going to go all the way, but decent job by Seattle containing that just to the 34, which is still a really, really good return. And, I mean, Tulsa still about half the quarter left to go, even more than that. And they do have the weapons, Cam. I mean, they do have the talent. Douglas Brown, especially spread out wide, has been pretty dangerous tonight.
Yeah, they've gone to a similar look on a lot of first downs tonight as Douglas Brown goes in motion. Hasn't necessarily worked out in Tulsa's favor. 17-3. They'll hand it off. That's Allen, picks up 1. And yeah, Douglas Brown not being in on some first downs really killing him.
Yeah, they've used him pretty well as a receiving target. But, I would like to see a little bit, more runs to him. Just traditional runs.
Q's pass is caught by Brown, a one-hander, and he says, run that. First down to about midfield.
Wow. Wow, what a great catch. That's a very difficult catch to make as a wide receiver, let alone as a running back. That's an unbelievable grab.
Day on the tackle. The formation subs and where players are playing and all that is now will all be left entirely to the team. So if something isn't looking quite right to the team, well, all they can do is say, well, what did we do wrong? As Manning picks up 3 yards. In this case, Manning runs are intentional as they just try and get him moving. Now he's going to go out wide.
It's a very versatile player, Gabriel Manning. I mean, he can do a little bit of everything.
2nd and 7, handoff to Douglas Brown. He is caught behind the line. The defensive front of Seattle doing great work, but Douglas Brown still able to manage 3 yards on the Valentine tackle.
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable. 3rd and 4. Let's see. Look out for Douglas Brown again, maybe.
Q is sacked. Loss of 3 on the play. And the Tulsa drive will stall out.
Yeah, just nobody open. Just absolutely nobody open. And a sack. Back talk, he says, where is the venue? I had a call. I'm from Cincinnati. Well, I have good news for you.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Tulsa will punt it away. You know, a lot of talk. There's a lot of freak out culture in the chat tonight from Tulsa about Manning running the football. That was by design, not by mistake, right? So it's not the game putting him back there out of a glitch or a mistake. That is specifically being done through formation subs. And if Manning doesn't want any carries ever in the history of his career, he doesn't have to have them.
Right.
Hand off to Scott, picks up a few. Brown, rather. It'll be 2nd and 6, 3:15 to go in the first half.
Yeah, and for Seattle is just trying to get this clock down as much as possible, and if it goes with 3 points at least, that will be absolutely great. But they've really controlled the pace of this game.
Brown again on the carry will bring up a 3rd and short for Seattle. Under 3 to play. Seattle's offense has taken great care of the ball. There you see the fullback tonight, 10 carries, 52 yards, and a touchdown.
Not too bad.
One more time, got a first down to the 34-yard line, and we'll see what Seattle does with this last 2.5 if they can string a drive together.
Sure, they do have at least one more play before the 2-minute warning, maybe 2 plays. Now showing 4 wide receivers on the 1st and 10.
And they hand it off to Baloo Scott, breaks a tackle. Arthur makes the play, picks up 2. Hey, one other note. Right now, SFL HQ's in the middle of a thunderstorm. If, for whatever reason, we were to lose power, thanks to situation mode, we can pick the game right back up where we left off and continue your action for this evening.
Yep.
No more games going final early, Ramos.
No.
We're having to
That's
start the sim over on a different day.
Right.
17-3 Seattle. They've got the ball on the 36-yard line off the 2-minute warning. Trellis Blanton going down the field. That pass is caught to the 49-yard line by Pauly Truth.
First catch of the game by either tight end in this game, actually. And that's a good one to Pauly Truth. Standing up in the pocket. Great job. Throwing just ahead of the safety. And into Tulsa territory. No need to panic here.
Blanton's looking strong. 1st and 10 to the 47-yard line. Hand off to Brown, picks up 4. So going back to what we've seen at Tulsa, it's kind of the opposite of what we've seen over the last couple of weeks, where we've seen some teams on 3rd and long going to similar looks. Tulsa's had a lack of variety on 1st down this evening, and so in situation mode, you would really hammer down what to do as Seattle takes a timeout there. You'd really hammer down what you want your offense to look like on 1st down in that particular playbook, given what you're seeing out of the defense.
Yeah, in this particular case, I think Seattle would be pretty content of what they're doing on 1st and 2nd down. It's been a lot of these, a lot of 3rd and shorts, 2nd and 3.
Blanton to throw. That pass is incomplete on 3rd down and 1, so a decision to make here on 4th and 1 in no man's land, and I think they're going to go for it.
Yeah, and I would. Let's see if they do. I mean, with a 14-point lead, looks like they will.
They will.
Maybe another run with Brown here.
4th and 1. 4 down lineman for Tulsa. Seattle sends gears in motion. Blanton going to throw on 4th and 1. Fires it. It's incomplete, and Tulsa gets the stop. So they got 1 minute and 3 timeouts to go, but a 4th down attempt fails for Seattle, and Tulsa will have the football.
Yeah, beautiful coverage right there by Swift. I mean, his responsibility was the tight end all the way. and makes a beautiful hit. No pass interference that time. And shout out to Alvin Washington in the chat again. Seattle on some Mike Alstott fight. I was going to mention a Mike Alstott, actually. You know, a lot of fullback lineups are running back. And Mike Alstott was fun back in the day.
1st and 10 at the 38. Let's see what Q and the Desperados can do. That pass is caught by DJ Bandit. His first target, and Tulsa will burn a timeout. That's a quick 4-second play to get the Desperados moving on this drive.
Really good one at that, you know, getting the ball right there at midfield. And if Tulsa can score some points, it's going to be a huge momentum booster for the Desperados. We're going to get the ball to start the second half.
Q to pass, and that pass is tipped, and then an extra cheap shot at the end of that play. Doug Day is there and on that coverage. Going back to that 4th down attempt, Ramos, on 4th and 1. If you don't like the call, well, now you can see how many times it would actually call that play, and you can really drill down on that 4th and 1, put in that exact situation, replay it as many times as your heart desires.
Yeah, for sure.
2nd down and 10. Q back to throw. Fires Bandit. That's caught to the 39-yard line. 45 seconds to go. Tulsa will burn a timeout. They are matriculating the ball down the field. So momentum starting to turn off that failed 4th down attempt.
And different plays here for Tulsa. It's very different from what they've ran. Back-to-back, not back-to-back, but 2 completions to the tight end when the tight ends had no completions over the first 18 minutes of the game.
Q changing the play at the line. Q will drop to throw. Fire it, near side, caught, broken tackle, Hume, inside the 10, he's going to walk in. Touchdown, Tulsa. DJ Hume beats the defense, and what a turnaround at the end of this first half.
Yeah, a really well orchestrated drive here for Tulsa. Gets the ball to the outside, one-on-one coverage between Hume and a safety apparently. And, well, they had really no shot at it. Great pass by JQ, and Tulsa with a much needed touchdown here.
That appeared to be a dime back on that play, or a nickel back on that play for Seattle. Missed on the tackle, and Tulsa puts in the extra point from Brooke Beisel, soon to be Brooke Brown. 4 plays, 61 yards. Tulsa executes a 2-minute offensive drive, taking 2 timeouts and putting 6 on the board, getting themselves right back in the game.
Yeah. Still a lot of time here in this ballgame.
From the 4, David Gears has some wheels, breaks a tackle, gets to the 39-yard line. He has been excellent on returns for Seattle.
He really has. I'm not sure if it has to do with the game speed. I don't know what it is, but David Gears really having the best return performance so far in all of these scrimmages, and also in the passing game, he's been pretty good so far.
See what Seattle does with this here with 31 seconds left in the first half. Got pretty decent field position. But they also got
pretty good on the run, though. So let's see.
They also got aggressive on their last drive, and that backfired on them. Blanton going to throw. Blanton escaping to his right, now fires down the field. It's caught by Truth at the 43-yard line, and Seattle will burn a timeout. I believe that's their second taken. They'll have 1 left.
Mm-hmm. With the ball at the 41-yard line, you just, in this control environment, you just need probably about 10 more yards to be in comfortable field goal range. A really good start here by Seattle.
Both offenses are working inside this 2 minutes as Blanton fires it outside, nearly taken away from Brown. Really nice job from Tulsa on the outside, Jay Rock, to knock the pass down.
Really good coverage. Everybody was pretty tightly covered. You know, that's the check down. That's maybe your 3rd or even 4th read.
Split backs here for Blanton. Blanton drops to throw. Clean pocket. And that, I thought, there for a second was caught. But really nice job by Miles Gibson to get in the way of Dean Jackson. Check that Gus Scott to force a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, for 1 second I thought it was caught. For 1 second I thought it was going to be probably called PI again. But a clean play by Tulsa and a 3rd and 10 for Seattle.
Running back sidecar left. Blanton going to throw. Trying to get into field goal range. Got it at the 28-yard line. Seattle calls a timeout. And they are in field goal range.
Yeah, what a grab right there. It's the second time we've seen a one-handed catch like that. And they're going to just kick. They don't have
any timeouts.
So
they have exhausted the timeouts, Mr. Lynn.
Yep.
Field goal is good. 5-play, 35-yard drive, and Seattle answers Tulsa's touchdown with a field goal, makes it 20-10.
Yeah, and what Seattle is thinking right there, it's any holding penalty, any sack, that's the end of the half, right? So you want to come away with points and be the last team to score points at this half. Now that Tulsa had some momentum going.
Tulsa's got 1 timeout, but unless Manning can do something crazy with it, that'll be the end of the half. From 3 yards deep in his end zone, not much to do there. So 4 seconds left for Tulsa to try to regroup, but we've seen plenty of points in the first half, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think for Tulsa here, you just run it, with either of your running targets, Brown or Manning or whoever. Maybe you can get a big play out of it, but maybe they will go, what is it?
Gonna go gun.
Yeah, 4 wide receivers. Let's see.
For the first time tonight, we'll see what they do here with 4 seconds to go. And Q just gonna heave and pray. That pass is to no man's land, and that is the end of the first half. Tulsa 10 and Seattle 20.
Yep. So far, a really good first half, honestly. It's a 10-point lead, but it feels much more tighter than that. Especially with Tulsa getting the ball here in the second half. They do have a really good chance with some offensive momentum to get even closer.
Q, 7-16, had his struggles. Douglas Brown in a mismatched running game, not doing too much tonight, but he does have 44 receiving yards. The 2 turnovers really hurt Tulsa and has been the difference in the game. On the Seattle side, Blanton also struggling just a bit. Brown's got 59 yards on 12 carries. Gears has been your deep threat down the field, and even Seattle has picked up a couple of sacks. Your first half player is David Gears. He delivered.
Yeah, it has to be. 1 touchdown through the air and also a couple of incredible kick returns. The first one didn't pan out for a lot, but the second one put Seattle in good position to kick a field goal at the end of the half.
We're here at the Nemisphere where Tulsa and Seattle are doing battle in a 4K23 exhibition as we get ready for next season. Speaking of next season, the convention is coming to Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky at the Embassy Suites Riverfront on the Kentucky side of the Ohio River, July 28th through the 30th. Here's some information and some bullet points that you'll want to know. Hotel rates, $169 for king, $199 for queen. Every room also comes with a sofa, sleeper, and a living space. So if you've never been to an Embassy Suites, it's a living area and a sleeping area in every room. Free breakfast in the hotel, including an omelet station that Embassy Suites is known for, and Friday reception before the official events begin from 5:30 to 7 includes 2 free drinks for guests to get the party started early. Schedule format looks like this. It's 6 live games on their own, Ramos, and then 2 red zone formats. The red zone format you see on your screen, so all 4 games will always be up at once, and we'll shuffle through those games throughout those 2 red zone blocks. You have 2 red zone blocks. You have 6 live games. It's sort of a hybrid of things that we've done all throughout our conventions, and all the games will be shown all week long. Every team will play. We've got some convention firsts, flag football, featuring Mr. or Miss Relevant, and both Friday and Saturday's dinners will be catered for the first time in league history. And more on that Mr. or Miss Relevant, Ramos. I don't know if you ever pick last for anything, Ramos, but it's certainly not exciting, right? So we thought, we're not going to make being picked last a thing that gives a stigma of negativity at this convention. Instead, we're going to give Mr. or Miss Relevant some huge advantages for getting picked last in the flag football game, the first ever at the SFL convention. Here are those advantages. The Mr. or Miss Relevant will be able to limit their opponent once a game to having only 3 downs to score instead of 4. They can call on R62 to rule a complete pass as the receiver was stepping out of bounds incomplete. Give one of your teammates only 1 flag to play with during the game, making them harder to stop. And scoring a touchdown as Mr. or Miss Relevant will count as double on the scoreboard. So that's a look at some things coming down the line for the first flag football game. The flag football game will be Sunday morning before we have to deal with any sort of potential sweltering heat. And that's a look at how the convention is going to look just at a glance. The reservation link is coming soon, very soon. I want to be able to say tomorrow, but I don't want to make any promises I can't keep. But that is the goal, to have that reservation link for your rooms in your hands tomorrow, or at least by Monday.
Sounds exciting. I'm telling you, man, like Ray Bentley and Mike Dagg getting picked last is going to be OP as hell.
Demond Simeon, $5 super chat. Jason Peace lives in the area, and he stated he's open to hosting a party. So we may have a little Thursday night pregame party like we did in Houston. That would be pretty sweet. And let's see. We also had a $5 super chat from DJ Woods. When is the convention coming or back to Atlanta, or do you not want to spoil the surprise? Well, we got a lot of cities to hit. Atlanta is always a good destination for air travel and all that stuff, but there's no set schedule for any future conventions.
Yeah, Mexico City's another one, right, Ken?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. They're all on the table, quite frankly. Q's going to start the second half with an incomplete pass, looking for DJ Hume. 20-10 in that first half. Both quarterbacks just a touch sloppy with the football, but both teams have also been able to manage some big plays down the field.
Yeah, they have. And Tulsa really needs a strong start to this drive. That one came with an incompletion. It's okay, 2nd and 10. At least get half the distance. Make it a 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4.
Q's pass is caught by Douglas Brown. That's a first down to the 41-yard line. Fox asks, do we know how much to put down to hold a room reservation? It doesn't cost anything to put down to hold a reservation. That'll come later. And then let's see. There's Douglas Brown, 11 yards rushing, 57 yards receiving tonight. First and 10 off of his catch. He split out wide again. Q to throw. Fires it on a crossing route that almost got DJ Hume open. Really open. A 9-yard pickup to set up a 2nd and 1.
Yeah, perhaps even a touchdown saving tackle at the end. It's a long way from the end zone, but DJ Hume has the wheels, as we saw on his touchdown. 2nd and 1. Great situation here for Tulsa.
Hand off to Brown, and Brown lost 2 yards. They just have had a tough time running off that left side all night long. David Horrell with the stop.
Yeah, you're gonna have a tough night once you go against number 50 in black. I mean, it's one of the best linebackers in the whole league. DJ Brown lined up as another tight end here. Something to look out for.
Yeah, Hume on the line. Brown in the backfield. Manning goes in motion all the way across the formation. And the pass is incomplete. Initially tipped away from Manning. And Tulsa will stall out here in the third quarter, to start the third quarter around midfield. They'll have to punt.
Yeah, really good job again by David Hall. You know, he dropped back in coverage, made the initial tip, and then put a hit on Gabriel Manning, making sure that pass was incomplete.
From the 15, Gears returns to the 17-yard line. And, you know, we're learning a lesson tonight about we've seen Tulsa go to that set a lot with Brown split out wide, Manning in the backfield, and it's been largely ineffective, and that has kind of stunted Tulsa's opportunities for advancement tonight.
Yeah.
Blanton's pass is incomplete. These defenses are hitting hard out there. Pauly Truth was the intended target. Second down.
Yeah, Seattle going to something different that they did in the first half. They did throw the ball deep to Pauly Truth a couple times, actually 3 times. But it's been mostly the run. So let's see if they go back to Brown here.
Hand off to Brown. Just what Ramos suggested. Picks up 5. Cuts the yardage needed in half.
And this is where you can go with some play action or some shallow cross, you know, some short throw, try to get just to the sticks. Pauly Truth is obviously always a target in these kinds of situations, but they show 3 wide receivers.
Blanton, deep drop back on 3rd and 5. That pass is tipped away and incomplete. Cameron Shaw with the deflection. So Tulsa's defense, since giving up back-to-back touchdown drives, has really stood tall. Tulsa just has to find a way to shake themselves out of their early offensive woes.
Yeah, you know, it's just a matter, and Tulsa will have some pretty good field position, you have to think, so it's just a matter of Tulsa piecing a drive together, scoring some points. Even a field goal will really put some pressure on Seattle.
Jones is immediately picked up off his feet and popped. Felt that one up here in the box.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's still some really decent field position, but some damage control here for Seattle, as Tulsa will have the ball at the 39. I thought they were going to have it closer to midfield, actually.
Tulsa crushing weak eye spread here early in this ball game. Bazar goes in motion. Handoff Manning, and this Tulsa linebacking core is just, I mean, they're just mean. 2-yard pickup.
Yeah, both defenses actually have really turned it up here at the end of the second quarter and start of the third, actually.
Same look. Nickel look for Seattle. Q going to throw. Q to Brown, and Brown caught that earlier tonight but couldn't catch that one. 3rd and 8. Tulsa looking vanilla.
Yes, and Day has been by far right there with David Hall, actually, the best defensive players on the field here for Seattle. And 3rd and 8 is really not what Tulsa is kind of built for, at least here in this game.
Seattle showed a blitz, then brought it from the other side. Q escapes to the left, and Seattle literally dragged DJ Hume to the ground. That's a huge break for the Desperados, who will finally move the ball into Seattle territory. This one looked easy.
Yeah, it did. One-on-one coverage. You just wanted to, want to draw the PI, and yeah, that's just what happened. Big break here for Tulsa, as they will have the ball close to scoring position.
.6:58 to go in the third quarter. Now, finally, Tulsa gives us a different look here on 1st down. with field position flipped. Q will fire down the field, and that is incomplete. Looking for Hume, and another vicious hit down the field for the secondary.
Yeah, this Seattle looking like the NFL Seattle of like 2013, the Legion of Boom. Is just a lot of big hits. Even on the PI, that was a pretty big hit.
JQ fires down the field. It's incomplete to Brown. 3rd and 10. A lot of conversation in the chat about Cincinnati, Kentucky. No, it's Cincinnati's on the immediate side of the Ohio River. Northern Kentucky, or Covington, Kentucky specifically, is where the hotel is located. But the walk across the river is only about 10 minutes. And you get the best of both worlds. 3rd and 10. Q. That ball actually popped off of. Was that Q's knee?
I think it was actually.
Q.
That's his thigh, but yeah, I think it was like his thigh or his knee or something.
Q was falling backwards, and I think it hit his own knee on the way out. And Tulsa's drive stalls out. It's been a frustrating night, and it really is. That punt is a bit shanked from Tulsa, and Seattle's not going to be pinned back as much as they thought. It just goes to show you, Ramos, how important it is to, test out, test things out from a playbook perspective, because we certainly are shocked to see Tulsa going to the looks that they continue to go into tonight, as Blanton will dump it off to Scott, and Scott's got a lot of room on the outside, picks up a first down to the 25.
Yeah, one of the most important things in football is situational football. That's really where games are won or lost, right? I mean, 1st and 2nd down, they're important, of course, but really it's what you do on 3rd down, what you do in the red zone, what you do on 4th down. Red zone defense, goal line offense, all of those things. That's what matters a lot. And, 2-minute drills, all of that good stuff, and we're going to have a good chance with situation mode to test that out.
6:06 to go in the 3rd. Dean Jackson goes in motion for Seattle. Blanton dumps it off short. David Gears popped by Collins. Picks up 3 on a nice stop route.
Yeah, and somehow Blanton was able to get that ball to his receiver. That could have been intercepted. It was a pretty dangerous throw, but a good laser throw right there, as he struggled so far in this game with 8 of 18 passing.
Both passing games have been a bit inefficient, as Blanton fires down the field, and Truth tried to haul it in and could not. It's 3rd and 7. It's interesting, Ramos, we've seen more inefficiency out of both offenses tonight, but we've seen maybe more points than we typically have in exhibitions, despite all that.
Yeah, and it's been the big plays. A couple of big receptions for touchdowns, big returns to set up some points, interceptions, such as Doug Days for good field position.
3rd and 7, clean pocket, and the pass is caught down the field by Gus Scott for a first down, as Tulsa jumped the route and failed. Seattle's got a first down.
Those have been the best passes for Seattle so far. Those intermediate passes, stop routes, hooks, whatever you want to call them. Those have been the best passes here for Seattle.
That was just terrible awareness by that Tulsa defensive back. There are some bad players when fatigue sets in on these rosters, just so you know. Pauly Truth gets up to the 25-yard line for a Seattle first down, and now the Nemesis are cooking.
Yeah, and speaking about fatigue, this pass rush is pretty much now non-existent. As you're going to take a look at this replay, everybody blocking their man, even the one-on-ones are working here for the offensive line. And Pauly Truth is completely wide open, middle of the field, and Seattle is in scoring position.
Truth's 3rd catch on 8 targets. Blanton fires, and man, Truth got nailed again. Travis Arthur pops the ball out, 2nd and 10.
One of those hospital passes. You know, it's not easy to complete a pass up the seam. You normally want to complete those when it's a little bit of kick coverage, right? Safety's going outside. But once those safeties are zeroed in on the inside, you're just asking for your tight end or receiver to get absolutely nailed.
Man defense for Tulsa here on 2nd and 10. Trying to bow up and stand tall and nearly intercepted. Collins shifted right into Blanton's line of vision just at the last minute, and he nearly pulled off a stunner.
He did, and he evaded the quarterback. I think Collins was assigned to go to the flat, but he read the eyes of the quarterback and just put his hands up. Unfortunately for him, he was unable to make the interception.
Blanton against a blitz, escapes left. Trellis Blanton on the run and slides, and he's probably glad he did, even though he wouldn't have a chance to pick up the first down. Stay alive out there.
Yeah, for sure. You know, have 3 points right here, pretty much in the bank here by Suey. 33-yard field goal attempt.
Field goal is straight through. 9-play, 71-yard drive for Seattle. They go up 23-10. And now Tulsa has to figure out how to put it together consistently on offense.
Yeah, good kick. I really like those signs or those images right there by the Nemesis. It covers like 10,000 seats. But hopefully teams put some sponsors on there to make up for their money, man. Of those seats not getting covered.
Manning gonna take a knee here, bring it out to the 20-yard line.
You know, and Tulsa, you know, from their perspective, you know, this is still just a 2-touchdown game. I mean, that's still a pretty big stop on defense. They're just down by 2 touchdowns.
Manning, this time the same amount of space he's had all night long. Citrion with another tackle and another 2-yard pickup.
That's been mostly David Horrell or Matthias Citrion. Katie Horrell has been pretty quiet, but these linebackers and the defensive line actually doing a really good job.
Q's pass is knocked away, and
well, not quite there.
Yeah, it's just kind of deja vu for this very mundane Desperado offense. It's actually, you know, quite disappointing for us here on exhibition night. It is an exhibition after all, but yeah, it's been rough.
Yeah.
Q on 3rd and 8. Corner blitz. That pass is caught by Manning, and it's for a first down. Man, Q squeezed that in there to move the chains.
Yeah, that's probably JQ's best pass of the night. On heavy rush, getting the ball right there to the hook route, and yeah, I think that's a good first down. Gary Manning was just right over the line, and Tulsa with a monster first.
You look at Q's just terrible inefficiency tonight. It's been tough to watch. Got to get something moving here as Q will go underneath, and it hit Hume right in the head. This looks like a team that it's playing in a new offense. They are confused.
Yeah, they look pretty rough. I think it's a good expression. You know, they have a shot here on 2nd and 10.
Q's pass incomplete, but that's definite PI. So, yeah, you can see Ramos. These penalty sliders are not it. You won't see these again.
Yeah, to their credit, I mean, it was a safety blitz, so corners have to be, you know, very aggressive. But yeah, that's not it.
It was definitely PI though, to be fair to the officials.
Absolutely. I mean, you got to call that, but yeah.
So first down for Tulsa, 23-10. Seattle leads here in this 4K23 exhibition. Q fires down the field, and Sanzo Robinson trying to angle himself to make that catch and wasn't able to do it. You know, just like in any game, even our current game, Ramos, playbooks matter, attributes matter.
A lot.
And everything that will come together at the start of the season will give us a different look for sure.
Yeah.
Q's pass caught. That's Sanzo. First down to the Seattle 47-yard line. Moving the chains for a first down.
Yeah, and if you have any doubts, just look at any All-Pro game with generic playbooks. Like, they suck. Like, they're really horrible. And Sanso Robinson right there with a quick slant. Doug Day makes a great tackle in the open field. But Tulsa, despite everything, making some really good progress here on this drive.
That's a good way to put it, Ramos. Despite anything, or despite everything, because Tulsa has not really played well, but Manning out of the backfield will pick up 3 on first down. I mean, they're starting to mix and match things just a little bit here in the third and making some headway.
Yeah. It's the first time that we see Manning get, run to the outside for a pass. And it was a pretty good decision, but a great tackle by KT.
Q looking for Brown again. This time it's caught down to the 25-yard line of Seattle. And the Desperados somehow, some way, continue to convert and keep this drive alive.
Yeah, I mean, again, really good route. That was almost a pick by Doug Day as he, that was Brady Clark as he just misjudged the football. But, I mean, Tulsa now very close from the red zone.
Under 2 to go in the third. Toss to Manning. And got 3 this time. Seattle's pursuit is intense. At least they're picking up positive yardage, though.
Yeah, they are. And they're really setting up, 2nd and 7, 2nd and 8, instead of, 2nd and 11s or 2nd and 12s, which really does help quite a bit.
Q to throw again. Q's pass is caught by Hume for the touchdown. DJ Hume's got 2 tonight, and it's a 7-point game.
These defensive backs have been playing very aggressive pretty much all night long. And in this situation, it was pretty much the same thing. It was a corner route, and Daniel Valentine just, again, misjudged the football, try to, he had a pick 6 pretty much in his head. And great throw by JQ, and Tulsa is just down by a touchdown.
Once again, Ramos, every week has been a little bit different here in these exhibitions. We've seen, I'm trying to think how, let's see if we can go back in time, right? Carolina and, who did Carolina play that night?
Oh, it was Carolina and
Denver.
Oh, yeah, that was a bludgeoning.
That was the Matt South show. We saw a terrific quarterback play in that game as Gears gets the return. And then last week we saw Minnesota and Fort Worth. And we saw some pretty great gameplay there. I would say tonight has probably been the most inefficient of the exhibitions for both teams on both sides, but we still have a 23-17 game towards the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. Because even like the Louisiana-Portland game, it was pretty efficient, just not a lot of points. But, this one, ironically, 40 points and offenses have been shaky, especially Tulsa's.
Hand off Baloo Scott, and Scott threw off a linebacker to pick up 5 yards. That was a nasty-looking stiff arm there. That was Miles Gibson flying the opposite way.
And for Seattle right now, this is pretty much what they have to do. They have to involve their dual running back set and just pound this football.
That's Pauly Truth in motion. Tight end out wide. Hand off, and that time, Tulsa's all over it. Yeah. David Ware on the stop, a loss of 1, third down.
I think that's the first time that Brown goes backwards. He has been pretty efficient. He's been the most efficient, if not the only efficient offensive player in the game. Right there with Gears, probably.
Blanton to throw, 4-man rush, and Trellis's pass is tipped up in the air and incomplete. Tulsa's going to have to punt, or Seattle's going to have to punt, and here come the Desperados.
Yeah, here they come, still with a quarter and change to go, only down by 7 points, in a game that has, to be fair, dominated by Seattle. Tulsa now with a chance to get in the lead.
Punt is away. Pretty good one. Jones to the 26-yard line.
You know, and for Tulsa, I mean, I don't even know what to say about it. I mean, they scored a touchdown on the last drive. It was, you know, one step back, 2 steps ahead, and it was just unorthodox, but it actually worked for them.
It certainly has been. Manning, handoff, 2. This time it's KT Horrell with the stop. Just can't shake him.
No, absolutely not. And it's been more Seattle's good run defense rather than Tulsa's poor running offense.
End of the third. Who knows what we're going to see in the fourth in this wild and wacky exhibition. Seattle leads Tulsa 23-17. Here on SFL YouTube. Second and 8. Q to throw. Q deep. Corner, it's Brown! Brown shakes a tackle! 30, 20, and Tulsa has tied the game! Oh, what a route from Douglas Brown. You gotta be kidding me.
Unbelievable. I mean, who would have thought? I mean, the best player, the best receiver in the game for Tulsa. I mean, I don't understand DJ Hume has 2 touchdowns, but we have to agree Douglas Brown has been the best receiver. It's just a straight-up goal route. Valentine, who's been very aggressive all night, and Brady Clark just takes a bad angle. One-on-one to Douglas Brown, a running back, checks off the safety, and off he goes. And somehow Tulsa is going to take the lead.
151 receiving yards for Douglas Brown tonight against a poor tackling and aggressive secondary from Seattle, and Tulsa has come all the way back to take the lead.
Wow. You don't see normally that in the SFL. 150 yards from a running back, actually running routes downfield. Like, this is not a lot of screen passes and swings. This is actually being a next receiver and being the #1 target.
Well, they've gone to the look so often tonight, Ramos, and we've been sitting here going, what's the end game, right? What's the angle? And it turns out that maybe they were playing the long game against us all along.
Yeah, probably. You know, and let's see if they keep it for the actual season 21 campaign. You know, they may look at this and be like, you know what, this may actually work pretty well for us.
I don't think they'd like to see it as much as they've seen it tonight, but a little sprinkle here and there never hurt anybody.
Here and there, I think it's going to be probably pretty efficient if you go against the right defense.
And just like an APF, if you do it every week, you're going to get scouted, and you're going to get had. Yep. So handoff to Brown, who is going to get near a first down. Travis Arthur spills him after a 9-yard pickup. Matt Brown continues a good night on the ground for the fullback.
Yes, and for Seattle, I mean, again, all 4 quarter left pretty much in the game. It's they're still in an okay position now. Obviously, the whole momentum of the game is on the Desperado side, but any score here for Seattle puts them up front.
Patton goes in motion. Handoff to Baloo Scott. Picks up a first down to the 35-yard line. Under 9 to play.
And I like this approach by Seattle. You don't have to panic. You don't have to try to win the game in one play. Your offense is pretty much run the game. It's been pretty much what they've done all game long. And that's what's working.
Handoff That is Scott picking up 7. And Seattle getting back to what they were doing so well in the first half. They kind of went away with it, trying to get Blanton cooking down the field. But they're finding a 1-2 punch in the backfield.
Yeah, Blue's gone out with 12 carries. Some decent balance here.
Blanton flips it outside. That's Brown in the open field. Dangerous. Gets a first down to the Tulsa 44-yard line. Another first down for the Nemesis.
Very efficient. Nothing flashy, but very efficient. Now quietly on the positive side of the field into Tulsa territory, all the way to the 44-yard line for number 44. And
so you got
again,
go ahead.
Sorry, to your point, I mean, Seattle going back to what worked in the first quarter, especially.
So you got 15 carries for the fullback. You got 12 carries for the running back. Seattle has successfully managed to split carries and get both running backs involved in a variety of ways tonight. Blanton going to drop to throw and fires down the field. Has an open receiver down to the 28-yard line. That's David Gears, who's been eating Tulsa alive tonight. Another Seattle first down.
He really has, but he's been actually pretty quiet here in the second half. Most of his damage has been in the second half, and that's just a great throw by Travis Blanton.
Gears had to work for that one. Cameron Shaw was all over him. Look at Blanton's numbers tonight. 0 passing yards to the left side. Here in the fourth quarter, nearing 200 yards on the night.
That's what happens when you're a right-handed quarterback.
Blanton fires down the field, caught inside the 10-yard line, and a first and goal at the 8. Paulie Truth with the reception.
And, this is how you respond to a touchdown drive by the opposition. It's just slowly matriculating the ball downfield. Just a simple seam route. And when the quarterback sees the release from the linebacker and passes it along, passes the zone, that's when you throw the football into that coverage. It's a very tricky kind of play for a quarterback. If you throw it too soon, the linebacker's going to be all over it. And if you throw it too late, it's probably going to be picked up by the safety, or you're going to throw a hospital pass.
Under 7 to go in the fourth. First and goal, handoff Brown, breaks a tackle and walks it in. No question. Seattle emphatically goes on a drive. Nice S's on the seat there for Seattle. 29-24. We'll see what they do with this extra point. They're just going to kick it.
Yeah, I think they are, and it's a tricky situation here. I may go for 2 with 6:34 left, but still more than half the quarter to go.
Extra point good. 30-24. A shootout. And I'm not really sure how we got here, Ramos. little bit of not too great defense out there. Inefficiency has wound up in some pretty big plays for both teams. Tulsa gets it back now. Manning from his 4-yard line will get out to the 29, and it's kind of one of those games, Ramos, where you're watching two teams that may not be the highest rated out there, but they're still putting on a good show.
Yeah, they are, and we've seen some really good plays out of both teams, actually, on offense and defense. As inconsistent as Tulsa's offense has been, for example, Douglas Brown has been an absolute menace through the air, and DJ Hume with 2 touchdowns really has sparked this offense into 24 points.
Just a reminder that none of the ratings are accurate to the players. It's just an exhibition as we continue to test out various things in alpha mode, as that pass from Q is incomplete. David Horrell in coverage, set up a 2nd and 10.
Dangerous throw right there by Hume or by Q, sorry. And this is where Seattle really needs to, put pressure on the quarterback, try to force a 3rd and long, and really retake the home momentum and retake the control of this game.
Brown, who's been the menace to the nemesis, goes in motion, now slot right, and they dump it off to Manning, and once again Manning is wrapped up by Citrion. And if this was an actual real-life game, Manning would probably be working on his break tackle next week.
Probably he would. And, but I like how Tulsa is trying to get him involved. It's just Seattle has been too good in the open field against him particularly.
Now off the line, he goes back in motion to the right side of the formation. Brown in the backfield on 3rd down and 10. Q's got a clean pocket. Q, deep shot down the field. And another flag is going to get Tulsa into Seattle territory. Sloppy game continues tonight.
Yeah, it really does. But I think this is warranted. Let's take a look at this replay as Brady Clark.
Oh, I couldn't get there.
He just runs into him. And, Tulsa gets another massive break. But this is why we do this, Cam. Alpha mode. It's a good chance to clean up some things.
5:44 to go in the 4th. Tulsa down. Seattle brings a blitz. Crossers. Pass caught by Hume, who's got both touchdowns for Tulsa tonight. Picks up 3. Tulsa has been consistent at getting 2 or 3 yards on 1st down, but not much more than that.
Right. But that's also kind of making a difference. And then that's why they have been able to actually get some 1st downs going.
Q in a bit of trouble. Finds Manning. Breaks a tackle. Manning down to the 22-yard line for a 1st down. Tulsa, who's going to have the ball last in this one?
Exactly. That's pretty much the question right now. And it's a great job by JQ. Because there was a rusher, actually. You're going to see it here. It was Valentine. To be fair, he got blocked. Good pickup by the guard. But an even better throw and a good catch right there by Manning. Mathias Citrion just not in position.
5 to go. Q's up to 309. How did that happen?
I know, right?
He's been really good in this second half. As Q drops back to throw. He throws over the middle to Sanzo Robinson, who's got a 1st down to the 10-yard line. 1st and goal, Tulsa.
And it's just been a track meet here on the last couple of drives. It's sparked by Douglas Brown's touchdown reception. But ever since then, it's been Hume, it's been Gabriel Manning, it's been Sansa Robinson, it's been Douglas Brown, of course, getting some chunk play.
This is getting good. These two teams are going at it now. JQ goes back and fires to Manning for the touchdown. Right at the goal line, we are tied at 30.
Wow. Yeah, what a great route, what a great throw, and great guts by Gabriel Manning, making the catch right there in the goal line despite being double covered. Just a big play on offense.
Through it all for Tulsa, we have seen DJ Hume, Gabriel Manning, Douglas Brown. Really playing some great football out there, and Tulsa regains the lead 31-30 on a 6-play, 71-yard drive.
And this exact situation is nice to put in a situation mode, right? You're down by 1 point, or maybe you're winning by 1 point. Maybe you have to either come back and score the game-winning touchdown or field goal, or you have to stop the opposing offense. So this is a really good situation mode kind of scenario.
Gears takes 2 to wrap him up at the 25-yard line. Manning talking that last drive over.
Wow.
I didn't think the way this night started, Ramos, we were going to get this kind of game.
Tulsa has scored 21 points in, 16 minutes?
Yeah.
15 and a half minutes? They scored 10 points in all of the first half.
31-30. Our first real shootout here in a 4K23 exhibition as Brown picks up 6 yards. Seattle unquestionably sticking with the ground game that's working.
It is, and with 4 minutes, 3 timeouts and everything, you just need a field goal to win this game. So you can still run the ball here.
Handoff, Scott, and Baloo Scott's got a first down to the 36-yard line.
Yeah. And maybe you try one more time. After that one more time, I think you go with the pass. Just have some balance and just to manage the clock wisely. But you can run it again here if you wanted to here on split backs.
Trying to be the last team with the football. That's the way this quarter has been. Draw play. Scott's got some room. Scott picks up 6. And it gives us our chance to talk about how refreshing it is to see draw plays effective.
Oh, my God, yes. Absolutely. And it's just going to be good for the coaches. They can put some other things in their playbook and make it effective. You know, roll out plays, all of that good stuff.
Handoff to Brown. Boy, that's close. They're going to give him a first down. Turillo asking if he thinks the normal mode has anything to do with the higher score tonight. Ramos, I think it's, if I had to guess, it's some pretty bad defensive numbers on both sides.
Yes.
We've seen some poor pursuit angles and tackling tonight. Draw, Scott gets 6. Clock continues to wind. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. It may have a little to do just because we may see a little bit more plays.
True. Yeah, we'll have to check the play count at the end.
We have to check the play count at the end, but either way, it's been some great football, I got to say.
And Scott, and Scott gets nothing. So now 3rd and 4 coming up. Collins with the tackle, and this is going to be 4-down territory for the Nemesis, I think.
Yeah, it has
here
to
in
be.
Tulsa territory.
Yeah, 2-minute warning here. But, you know, being 4th down territory, you could run it here on 3rd and 4. I mean, if you have to go for it on 4th down either way, and your offense is predicated on the run, you may try to run here. I mean, who knows? Maybe you can get the 4 yards and get a first down, or at least you can get 2 or 3 and make it a 4th and short 1.
You also have all 3 timeouts. You could try to pin him deep, but we'll see. Blanton on 3rd down and 4. Blanton fires down the field. It's caught at the 30-yard line by Gus Scott. Marco Swift with the tackle, but Seattle gets into scoring range.
And it's a back shoulder throw, actually, on this one. He knew the safety was far upfield, and it's a back shoulder throw, making your receiver, you know, throwing your receiver open pretty much. And Seattle is in scoring position. Now, Tulsa has to think about burning the timeouts.
Blanton off his back foot fires it and complete to Zach Patton, just shy of the first down. Seattle not going no huddle, but they're also not getting conservative either. Don't want to settle for too long of a field goal. As you look at Blanton's updated numbers, actually over 50% now.
Yeah, and I think the last pass was the first completion of the left side.
Yeah, you're right. They'll hand it off here again. Baloo Scott goes backwards, still on her feet. Scott breaks a tackle, and Baloo's in the end zone. Going crazy here at the Nemisphere. Now they'll go for 2.
Yeah, they have to go for 2. What a play by Baloo Scott, who's been extremely quiet, but the legs are fresh. I mean, going to the outside, and he just outruns the defense. Swift gets engaged in the block, and then the linebacker cannot make the stop, and that's exactly what happens when your running back only has like 15 carries in the whole game. She's pretty fresh, and Seattle will go for 2 now and make it a 7-point game.
I wouldn't count out Tulsa either.
No.
Get the ball back. Beautiful end zones for Seattle. Going into the forest. Handoff, fullback, and he dives down below for 2. Beautiful play. He's the truth.
Beautiful shirts. Forget about the play, but what a play here by Brown, to be fair. Diving for the 2-point conversion. What a game.
You love that, right? I mean, no fooling around. Just get into the end zone, whatever means necessary. Manning on the kick return. Manning to the left, gets past the 30 to 32.
Return.
Where have I seen this movie for Tulsa?
Oh my God, I know, right? So the big target upfield may actually be Douglas Brown. instead of Manning, if this game has been an indication of it. But 1 minute left, still timeouts to burn. Here we go.
Wow, this will be interesting. 59 seconds left, all 3 timeouts for Tulsa. They go empty to start the drive. The middle of the field all alone for Seattle defensively. That's Day chasing Robinson, who now goes opposite side of the field. Cue to throw. Everybody stops, and you'll want to pull that. Citrion makes the play, 2nd and 10.
Triangle coverage, more so kind of like a prevent defense kind of style. But Seattle, at the same time, the economy is being aggressive also, as Matthias Citrion almost had the interception.
2nd and 10. What do you see?
Man-to-man coverage, the middle of the field is open. Maybe a post route here will work for Tulsa.
Cue to throw against a blitz. Fires it. Boy, still good coverage down the field. Looking for Corey Jones. He's been a little quiet tonight, but has also been a late game hero for Tulsa in their history. 3rd and 10, 52 seconds left.
Yeah. So far, a lot of man-to-man coverage here for Seattle, forcing the receivers to beat him one-on-one. Same thing. We really haven't seen Tulsa go with a post route, and I think that could work wonders for them right now.
Hemisphere is loud. The pass is caught. Missed tackle. Hume, 30, and dragged down to the 26-yard line. Timeout, Desperados.
It's not a post route, but it's similar. It's a seam route. It's basically a go, a 9 route, and Hume, who's been terrific on one-on-one coverage, gets the catch for big gains.
More poor defense from Seattle in the open field. Bandit is matched up against Citrion, the linebacker. 2 timeouts left for Tulsa. Ball on the Seattle 27-yard line. Q will throw. Again, everyone just running stops. Now they run the scramble drill. And Hume can't get open. I did like that they broke off of it, but it still didn't work out. 2nd and 10 with 39 seconds to go.
Yeah, the good thing by Tulsa, they didn't lose a lot of time. It was only about a 6-second play. Not too bad considering you're at the 27-yard line. Now, maybe some zone defense now for Seattle, changing it up a little bit.
And they bring a linebacker blitz. It is picked up. Q's pass is almost intercepted. Doug Day almost had his 2nd, 3rd and 10.
Yeah, it was an errant throw right there by JQ. It was a good route. It was pretty open, but just an errant throw by the quarterback. 3rd and 10 now.
Wild game here in Seattle. Sonzo Robinson goes in motion. 36 seconds left. 2 timeouts and a 3rd and 10. Cue to throw. Fires it down the field. Caught by Manning to the 20. And a timeout by Tulsa here on a 4th down. You notice, Ramos, that Tulsa has been in empty the entire drive to try and go and win the game, getting out of their regular offense. Although here, we'll see a different look on 4th and 3.
Yeah.
Tulsa's got 1 timeout. This, the ball game, and that pass is incomplete. Valentine knocks it away, and Seattle's going to win this game.
They are, and it wasn't zone, actually. It fooled me. It was 0. It was 0 coverage, which is basically man-to-man across the board. It's actually 1. It's cover 1. The safety's deep. Either way, great play by Valentine and company making the deflection, and Seattle holds for the win.
4th and 3. Let's break that last drive down, Ramos. 4th and 3 for Tulsa. On that drive, they got the ball with, about 1 minute and 6 seconds left. They did not have to run no huddle a single time. They used 2 timeouts. Their 4th down play went past the sticks in an attempt to get a 1st down and continue on with the drive. They just came up a little short.
Yeah, it was a very well-executed drive for Tulsa. Seattle just came up with a couple of big plays at the very end. and just kudos to them. But I thought it was a great executed drive by Tulsa. Actually, by the time Manning completed his return, it was only 59 seconds left in the game clock. So really efficient offense in about 30 seconds, moving the ball pretty much all the way to the 20-yard line.
And you can clearly see, Ramos, there's opportunities there, right, to go to some offense late in games. It's not necessarily going to get called the whole rest of the night, right? You can actually put in a specific package for that type of situation, and it almost worked in Tulsa's favor tonight.
Absolutely. What a game.
Well, it wasn't the prettiest game at times, but it certainly gave us plenty of drama at the end of the night. Let's take a look at the stats when it's all said and done. Tulsa's run game really struggled, mostly just because of a formation sub that backfired on the Desperados because it got run far more than I think Tulsa would have anticipated. But JQ and Trellis Blanton ended up with some decent nights. Q nearly 400 passing yards. And in the end of the day, both teams pretty efficient on third downs as well. We had a combined 36 first downs.
Yeah, and the difference at the end was really the turnovers, right? Seattle with some miscues. Tulsa with some miscues. Seattle did not give the ball away, and that was a big difference in the game.
So at the end of the day, 70-63 in plays, but we also had a lot of incompletions tonight. So that could have skewed some of those numbers, as those are a little bit higher than we've seen. We saw, PIs were rough tonight, but you won't see that again next week. 10 points off turnovers were the difference for Seattle. Let's look at some player stats. Both quarterbacks in the 90s. Ended up being a pretty crazy night. Completion percentages were a little rough for both parties, but just one interception. Despite all that, JQ with the pick to Doug Day, and Trellis Blanton kept a clean sheet. Going over to the ground game, look at the balance for Seattle. Brown, 18 carries, 92 yards. Scott, 17 carries, 86 yards. Blanton took off for 4 for 16. And, yeah, I think if Tulsa would have had a burst of ground game tonight, they probably would have won this game.
Yeah, and the efficiency, right? Both of the running backs, or running back and fullback, 5.1 yards per carry. So, just 2 of those and you get a first down.
Receiving tonight, Brown, 151, had some sensational plays. Hume had 5 for 110. Manning, 8 for 63. He saw targets early and often, so, best players on the field should get the most looks. That's what we saw. 4 for 80 for Truth, 4 for 71 for Gears, and Scott chipped in 3 for 55. Quiet night for T to Queen, but Seattle was running a lot of 2 receiver sets. Just didn't see all that much of her. Swift with 12 tackles, 11 solo to lead the way tonight. Sacks, we didn't see much in the second half once defenses got a little worn out, but Seattle put in a couple of sacks. Gamora with 1 as well. Final thoughts, Ramos?
A beautiful game. I think the normal speed made things more dynamic, to be honest with you. At some points early in the game, obviously we're not used to it. It was a little bit of, the commentary. You got to get off the commentary pretty quickly because the next play is coming and everything. But it was a really, really good, well-played game, especially at the very end. I thought Tulsa at the very end had a great drive to try to tie the game up. They just came a little bit short. Despite
all the inefficiency, just 1 turnover tonight. Actually 2 turnovers. The fumble from JQ on the quarterback slide, and then he almost fumbled a second one, but it was recovered by his own team. Seattle keeps a clean sheet, gets a 38-31 win in a wild 4K23 exhibition that featured 29 fourth-quarter points. For Ramos Lynn, I'm Cameron Irvine. We'll see you back here for SFL Week 10 on Saturday afternoon. Good night, everybody.